Okay, so what noise have we got out here? I have to go outside to have a look, but it's coming through the house, and all I can say is that see, it's a damn truck there doing. See, they've got half a dozen trucks in there, bloody well. And, they're all like those little yellow trucks. And basically, this fake suburb, fake street, fake neighbours, fake this. See, look at all that. Look, there's 3-4 vans there. See, they're all the same black and yellow. And there's 4 of them. I think there's 5 actually. I'm not going to go right out because see, I don't even want to come out here. But basically, that noise, it doesn't sound very loud. But is the mobile even picking it up? Actually, there's noise coming a bit from that house over there, bloody well as well. So there's noise there and there's noise there. Can you hear it? Oh, they're fake. They're fake bloody. They're bloody. Like this is really some sort of bloody, I have to say it, I realise it now, I'm living on some sort of bloody artificial bloody base. By that I mean where, some sort of area, base, where every single person, every house and the bus depot, which is probably the centre of it, it's just down the corner, like there's that noise there, and then there's noise coming from that house there. But this bloody fake pipe thing that they do, which they're doing all the time, like it's just fake. But, see, can you see it? Can you hear it? But see, that noise, even low, it's pretty loud, or at least it's really annoying. See, this is what I'm trying to say, is that this noise that goes on around this neighbourhood. See, can you listen to it? See, if I went down there and asked them, they'd give me some fake explanation, that goes on day in and day out around this fake neighbourhood with the fake artificial android life forms. Well, they're not life forms at all. They're destructive, anti-life. I've said this 1,000 times. They're basically here to bring human beings down at a frequency level so they can consume, like they're getting from me right now while I'm making this video, the negative energy, because I'm angry, I'm inside my house and I've got this low frequency vibrating sound coming through. It doesn't, even if it doesn't sound that loud inside the house, it actually kind of goes through your head, and they know that. These sounds are all designed by this, by the technological matrix itself. In other words, it designs and studies the human being's mind, I suppose, and designs all this noise, to, so he's coming out opposite there too, you know what I mean? Like he's a fake one if ever there was, I mean, just look at them, they're bloody, I shouldn't swear, but, I really shouldn't, but so we've got the work going on right in front, and then there's 4 or 5 vans there making all that racket there with that low humming, very anti-life machinery type noise. It's not like loud and high pitched, it's low and grating and low frequency. And it does actually affect the human mind. A lot of people wouldn't realise that, you know what I mean? And that fella's just standing at the door because they don't like the fact that, that I'm filming this, because it's, they don't like it. Because they don't want to be exposed, because this is not a real reality, and this suburb is some sort of artificial base. It's an artificial human control base. Because the whole area has been infiltrated by an army of these people. I mean, they're not people, not by my standard anyway. And I have pretty low standards. Like, I don't expect a real lot from people, which is why, you will be taken advantage of too by the artificial ones too. Because, if you have low expectations, like I tend to be pretty easygoing, because I always tend to think, oh, well, if anyone can put up with me, they must be okay. But see, they want you to think like that. We are trained to think that way too, even if there's some truth in it. Like, even if my faults are true, you're still trained to think that, oh, they're better than you, so therefore if they tolerate you, that I've got to close the door. That noise is not loud, but it's starting to really get on me. I can hardly keep my balance. And they're banging still in that place opposite. God knows what they're doing in there. I mean, all these renovations and draining. Or I mean, if that was a blockage in the pipe, like, they wouldn't be around every week to do it. Like, that's just not realistic. And the ridiculous explanations they give you for all the work they do, who knows what, like even when they do some of the underground where they're digging up things, who knows what they're really up to. But essentially it's just fake work designed to where you've got the patrol system, because they're always watching you on the street with, their army always stuck on the street, digging it up or doing work so that it looks legitimate. Also, you're a lot more aware of that too, because it's more intimidating than the artificial civilian patrol force where they're dressed, like casually, just like normal people as opposed to work people. But it doesn't make any difference. It's like, it's like the difference between a policeman and the average person, shall we say. But they're all really the same. Because once if you've got like patrollers or stalkers, it's the same thing, and you know that, so it matters really not. But when they do, oh, thank goodness that noise has stopped for a minute. See, that's like I don't know. Is there any point in even doing this? Well, I mean, I think there is. There is, and there isn't. I suppose, like, from the day all this started, I was sort of told on the internet that it would be 30 years, like, and I'm 65, before all this program is exposed. So I thought, it's pretty hopeless, like, I'm doomed sort of thing, And, that is really the truth, isn't it? I mean, we know that because, like, especially as not even many people even watch the actual real people's complaints or videos, whatever you like. Whether you say it to people or whether you took it up with the authorities or whether you put it out on the internet or whatever you do, it makes no difference because only very few people actually take notice of the real humans. Most of the ones that would even be on the internet, whether it be in any field on the internet, are all the artificial android people, shall we say. Like the demigods, the demigods, as I've said before, they're just like anyone who's anyone that's like prominent, or that whether it be local or all over the world, makes no difference, whether it's in the entertainment industry or in the or in the power positions in the world, you know what I mean, like anything at all, or anyone in authority, whether it be local or around the world, it all starts local, but it's still a world thing. It's just that it's in different places, and so it would be probably slightly different for that reason. But You know, like it doesn't matter to me personally what's happening on the other side of the world. It's only what's happening on my street that's right, or what's around me. But it is a worldwide thing though, you know, so... But like I say, it makes no difference because the artificial ones cover everything. The minute I say something like it's a complaint, then you will have, you know, 1,000 artificial androids making the same complaint. That way the real human beings are always separated and always not heard and always invalidated. That's how it works. I've observed that, you know. So even when something gets exposed, it really doesn't, because the real people will not get any help. It will be the artificial ones who will pretend to be the victims. You know? Like, you know. Anyway, I'm folding up now, and that's how it works. Woman's coming out in that house in front, and of course we've got the, you know, the workman in front, and I think that noise has stopped down there with that thing there. But what I'm trying to say is, as you can see, it's just one activity after another. Like, I've only been here for a few hours, right? I've only been here, see how she's pointing and collaborating with the fella in the house there? She might pretend that she's not, but see how she said thank you? But see, basically they're all in with one. It's all staged. I mean, she might pretend like me that she's just, that he's a workman and that she's just, well, she's next door. But basically they are actually of the same religion, shall we say. That's how I would have to define it. They're like a worldwide religion with the same beliefs, same type of beings. I'm not saying that real people couldn't be in that same, with those same people and in that same religion. They could, because they could be deceived. You know, but I don't really know that. I'm not sure. I would say it is probably not as likely, but it is possible. Because after all, that is the name of the game, isn't it, really? I think. Yeah, well, yeah, it is. It's the name of the game at a personal level, you know, like... But see, I don't know what the real numbers are, you know, what the real ratio to the others is in relationship to the real people, you know. You know, there probably would be you know, maybe one day I'll find out, but I've been trying to figure it out for a few years. In fact, I used to be preoccupied with it a couple of years ago, you know, like I'd be like trying to think, you know, how many real people are left in Sydney? And you know, at one stage I was like down to a really no number, you know, and like I'm actually sort of hoping that somehow or other the Matrix will give me an answer, because I figure, it doesn't make any difference to them. But I never really did get that. At one stage I thought I did know it, but now I realise... But see, it depends on too what you mean by, you know, like there could be... I better fold up, because there could be like still differences between people, even between real people, perhaps there could be still some differences, but that doesn't really matter so much, I don't think. It may. It might make a difference, but, you know, you see how that car just stops and stalls, but you won't see it. Can you see that white car? No, it's going now, because don't forget they know when you're filming and all the rest of it. But see how they just always slow up, and sometimes they'll stop right in front for no reason. You know, like last night when I was out, like one car just pulls, you know, because there was no one around to see it, apart from me, because it was like about 3 or 4 in the morning. You know, they just pull up and sit in the car with their lights on and don't do anything. Like there's no shops open, there's no reason for them to pull up, and then they'll just wait till you go past and then they'll drive off, you know, that sort of thing. That's quite normal. But it's not really normal, of course, you know. Not when it happens all the time too, and not when you know that it's a patrol thing. So that's another thing too. The cars never used to leave their lights on, like when they're parked and all this sort of thing. They turn their engine off when they park and turn their lights off. I mean, all these trucks last night with all their blinking flashing lights that are in your eyes, big, huge flashing lights, and they're actually sitting in the trucks doing nothing. But they've got all these flashing lights. They say that's for safety, you see, so that's how they get round it all. But they never used to do any of that sort of stuff. It's not for safety. It is designed to distract the human being and to annoy you, because the flashing lights are very irritating on your eyes. But also it takes your attention away from what you're doing. Like basically you can't look anywhere except at these flash lights that could almost end up, they've got an annoying hypnotising effect. Yeah, they put you right off balance, especially when this goes on day after day, Because that's what happens in the Matrix. You're always looking at these lights or flashing lights or excessive noise. None of it is pleasant though, none of it, and because it's continual, you don't get much let up of it. See, if it was just now and again, it wouldn't even disturb you so much, But, a human being is not meant to be subjected to, an army of light and sound at them. See, when I say an army, that's right. That's what it is. But it's a very secret army, because no one is going to think that a human being can be destroyed by excessive sound and light, or even stalking, because you can't prove it, and invisible frequencies. If you can't prove or see something or show it, you can't explain it to someone else. You can't prove it. And that's just how it is. And I don't know what, that's anyway, folding up